I am Slick Nick. Let's talk about this. This is a comment that showed up, and we're always trying to find out what is reality, what is the truth. So I made a video called Never Mind What I Said in the Last Video, why I decided to go back to a zero guard buzz cut. So I received this comment, quote, Nick, don't ruin your hair follicles, grow it back, it's up to you, end quote. So what I'm understanding from that comment is that if you continue to shave off or buzz your hair, this is the Remington Shortcut Pro that I use the zero guard on there. And I'll put a link in the description in case you want to be able to buy one, because I've looked, they're not easy to find at stores. I've learned, like if you go to Walmart, you might be lucky to find one. But even then, if you just click the link, you can probably get it a little bit cheaper anyway. So that's what I've learned the best way to get this Remington Shortcut Pro if you're interested in that. Okay, but going back to this comment, if we were to take this at face value, and my perception of understanding it, it's spreading this idea that if you continue to shave your hair, it's going to, quote, ruin your hair follicles. So I'm making this video for anyone who is searching this on the internet. You know, YouTube is the #2 search engine in the world. And I know that, and I make money from the ads because of it. That's how YouTubers, you know, make their side hustle, from the ads that show. And we purposely make content for people searching for stuff and wondering about stuff. What's funny is all you really have to do is look it on your phone. So I'm gonna do that in real time right now. I'm gonna say, does shaving your hair ruin your follicles? I'm gonna say, does shaving your head ruin your hair follicles? We'll say that, because that's really what we're going at, ruin. I said your jed. Does shaving your head ruin your hair follicles? Come on. I'm looking, there it is. I'm looking for the auto populate. There we go. So when we Google that, again, word for word, okay, it auto populated to can shaving your head damage hair? Ultimately, it takes us to an article from Solve Clinics, and the article is called Can Shaving My Hair Repeatedly Cause Balding? Okay, so the overall consensus on the internet is this, quote, there are many rumors that shaving your head can cause hair to eventually fall out, as well as that it will grow thicker each time it is shaved. Both of these rumors are false. So when the hair is shaved, it does not damage the follicle at all, and it does not change anything about how the hair grows, end quote. So for me, I've always known this. Now let's just use this theory here, okay? I've been very vocal about the fact that I have been shaving my hair for about 20 years now. And not constantly, but usually I'll do it for a couple months. And I'll do that about every year and a half or every 2 years. For about 20 years I've been doing that. And at age 40, I mean, I still have enough hair to, people would see it as at worst a widow's peak, but people don't see me as a balding man. And so you can go back, you know, 2 months ago, look at my hair and you can see it's not ruined. So we can also see though, by that same logic that, oh, or the opposite logic, your hair will grow thicker. No, it won't. How much hair you have is based on your DNA when you're born, and that already determines it. But so many viewers want to be able to think that there's a cause for hair loss other than being born with DNA that determines it either way. They think, well, if I can only find what causes hair loss, then I can prevent it and I can stop it and I can reverse it. And that's very wishful thinking. That's very blue pill, which is not what this channel is. I'm red pill. I accept reality for what it is. So, can you ruin your hair follicles by shaving your head? No. Can you grow your hair back thicker by shaving? No. It reminds me of when I was in high school, there was a teacher, Mr. Crawford, and he was in his late 20s, and we only know him as a guy who shaved his head. And people would ask him, why do you shave your head? You know, did you really go bald that young? And he would joke and say, well, I decided to shave my head one time and then it just never grew back. That was his joke. Yeah, in reality, he went bald really young. And that was just what he joked, and it was funny. You know, even now I think he has a really long beard and shaved his head. But there it is, that's the reality. Just keep in mind, people want to believe things that aren't true. So for example, some of the most popular videos I have on my channel are talking about rosemary oil for hair loss. And I used myself as an experiment, I believe for 2 years. I documented this. and to find out if it would work. Well, it doesn't work. Ultimately, it proved what I'm telling you now. It's already determined when you're born. Your DNA is going to determine whether you're a balding man by age 35 or not. I talk about this all the time. But still, people don't want to accept that because so many people are blue pill. They are putting their hope and their emotion and their identity in this concept that they could save their hair by taking rosemary oil or whatever else it is. And if we were to Google it right now, let's just do it. Let's Google it. Let's look up in real time, see what happens when we Google, does rosemary oil prevent hair loss or something like that? And I already know what's going to say. Here we go. So if you Google does rose, immediately it populates, does rosemary oil grow hair? So let's just go with that one. So let's see what Google has to say. Actually, there's no main article that shows up on this. Okay, finally I scrolled down and found one. Okay, so the overall Google consensus, which is not at the very top, it's more at the bottom, which already tells you it's less relevant. Quote, rosemary itself works for a variety of reasons. In many situations, it can give you a way to enhance the growth of your hair. Researchers have found that rosemary oil has the ability to thicken hair significantly. Okay, so Google says it's real. I say it's not, because I'm one of few people on this planet, if the only one, who documented it from the beginning over the course of 2 years. And you can look up my videos. If you go to my channel and you type in rosemary oil, you're gonna see multiple videos pop up. You can look at them from the very beginning to the end. And ultimately what you're gonna find is this. When my hair looks better, it's because I'm indoors and there's not a sun shining on my head. And also, it's because when with the hair product that I put in my hair, if I put a lot of hair product in there, especially one that's petroleum based, it makes my hair look thinner. Whereas there's other videos where I have, my hairstyle, whatever it would be, and it looks thicker. It's just because the product that I use is different. It doesn't have petroleum in it. So yeah, the conditions of the lighting and what kind of product you use and even what kind of hairstyle you have, because it's all about being red pill, choosing a hairstyle that is going to suit you well. I mean, this one definitely suits me well. This is basically like a #1 guard on top at this point. There's other hairstyles where if I have it just long enough, it looks good. But if I were to have it too long, it wouldn't look good. If I had it too short, it wouldn't look good. So you just kind of figure out what's going to work best with that. That's what you're going to find if you look through my channel and try to find whether rosemary oil works or not. You're just going to find that I eventually learned, you know what? I should be shooting my videos indoors with the lighting behind me, because ultimately it's unfair to shoot them outside with the sun right in because that's overkill. That's not a neutral, balanced environment. So in real life, this is what I look like. When I did those videos where I used to work years ago, and I'd have my phone and just be talking and the sun was always on me, and I used petroleum-based products, which made my hair look thinner. So over the course of time, it made it look like my hair grow thicker. In reality, what you should notice is I started shooting my videos indoors. Your comments belong right here.